What's poppin', guys? Peace. Let's dive into NXT Stand and Deliver for April the 1st, 2023. The show overall was decent. I'm not going to front with you guys. It was decent. Now, Shawn Michaels, he did make some bad decisions. He did. I'm not going to front. But overall, the event, for the most part, was fun. I wasn't bored in any of the matches. And it felt like a mix of current NXT with a smidget of black and gold mixed in, if you catch my drift. So we kicked the show off with a video package hyping up the major matches by Pretty Deadly. So that was good. First match of the night. So we see the NXT Women's Championship hanging from the ladder. So it's the NXT Women's ladder match for the NXT Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton versus Lyra Valkyria versus Zoe Stark versus Indy Hartwell versus Gigi Dolan versus Roxanne Perez. This match, not that good for the most part. A lot of the women in there were green. They didn't know what they were doing. They were scared. Even like towards the end when Tiffany Stratton did her dive, I thought that she was going to damn near kill herself. Like, it was scary doing this. And this is why I don't like women's ladder matches, because for the most part, the women are very clumsy and they seem very fearful of ladders. And this match was true to that. So there was a point in the match where Gigi Dolan was about to climb up the ladder, and then JC Jane, she came in from behind, she pushed her off, and then towards the end of the match, Tiffany Stratton took out everyone. Indy Hartwell, she tried to climb up the ladder, then out of nowhere comes Dexter Lumis. The crowd pops massive for that. So Dexter puts Indy on his back, and she climbs up the ladder, and she now is the new NXT Women's Champion. And I'm like, Shawn Michaels, what in the actual hell are you doing? Shawn Michaels, man, what are you smoking? What are you on, bruh? Are you on Percocets? Are you doing acid? Are you freebasing? Like, my God, what are you doing, bruh? What drugs are you on, dog? This is so stupid. And the crowd loved it. But me, I hated it. Because it didn't make any sense. Indy Hartwell, for months, has been looking like a jobber. She's been booked like a jobber for months. And I have no idea why Shawn Michaels decided to go with Indy Hartwell over going with like a Tiffany Stratton or even a Lyra Valkyria, or even just having Roxanne Perez retain. I just don't get the booking of this. I feel like it was a dumb irrational decision. And in the long run, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt in the long run. I have no idea why he did this. I just don't. I really, really don't. I'm guessing Indy will probably maybe give Roxanne a rematch. Maybe Roxanne will say she wants a rematch. And maybe Indy loses. Maybe this was just a short-term transitional win. But, I mean, you know, maybe Indy is going to be a transitional champion. And I think that's what she's going to do. I don't see her, you know, holding it long. Next, moving on, the triple threat tag match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. The Creed brothers, Brutus and Julius Creed, versus the family, Tony D and Stax, versus Gallus, Mark Coffey and Wolfgang. So Daniel Cormier, he's in this. So that was cool. He was showing at ringside. I like that. The match was solid. And then towards the end of the match, my boy, Joe Coffey, he came in and he took out Tony D. And this allowed Gallus to hit their double team knee finish, taking out Stax, and they retained. And I loved it. And I know good and damn well that Joe Coffey was hot as hell in that damn jacket he was wearing. I know his ass was burning up. I'm like, damn, why the hell is he wearing that? Come on, dog. You could have came in like with like a tank top or just a regular t-shirt. Like, come on, dog. Like, damn. I mean, I get that you're inside an arena, but still, man, it don't make any sense. But I'm glad that Gallus is fully reunited, and it makes sense. This was the right decision here. Although I wouldn't have mind if the family would have won. That would have been great. But having Gallus boys be back on top is what's best for business, and this is great. I just wish that NXT had some better tag teams. I really do. Hopefully we could get AOP to come back. I think that would be tremendous right there. That would be a good little feud for them. So Pretty Deadly, they're outside of Bron Breakker's locker room. So they're too afraid to knock on his door and interview him. Then we get a video package for the NXT North American Championship. Next, the 5-way for the NXT North American Championship. Ilya Dragunov versus Axiom versus JD McDonough versus Dragon Lee versus Wes Lee. This match here was a banger. The MVP in this match was Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov kicked so much ass. Dragon Lee had a good showing here. The crowd knew who he was, and that was great. He didn't unload the chamber as much, but, you know, he got a couple of high spots in there. It was great. Hard hitting. You know, I really enjoyed this match. And Dragon Lee also had a great entrance. Loved it. And I loved his theme. So that was really cool right there. In the end, Wes Lee was able to retain. He hit Dragunov with the cardiac kick that he does. That was cool. I enjoyed that. And then also, Dragunov, he hit the Torpedo Moscow on Dragon Lee, and then Wes Lee hits a cardiac kick for the 1-2-3 on Ilya. So that was really cool right there. I don't know what you do with Ilya and JD. I don't want to see them feud anymore. My best bet would be to pair them together as a tag team, and that would make the most sense. I'm hoping that at the next NXT event, I'm hoping that we get a one-on-one match, maybe Wes Lee versus either Ilya Dragunov or Dragon Lee. I think that would rule. That would kick ass. But Dragon Lee did very good here, and this was a really good showcase match for him. Moving on. So Grayson Waller, he's fired up backstage. He's going to take on Johnny Gargano. Moving on. Pretty Deadly. They're outside of Carmelo Hayes' locker room. So Trick Williams, he comes out to yell at him real loud. He says that the outfits that they're wearing should cause them to be in jail. Williams also says the world is not ready for what Carmelo Hayes will do. Next, the unsanctioned match. Johnny Gargano versus Grayson Waller. This match had kendo sticks, steel chairs. There was one point in the match where Grayson Waller did a coast-to-coast on a trash can lid. There was also a powerbomb through a table spot. Johnny Gargano, he powerbombed Grayson Waller through the announce table. Then Candice LeRae, she gave someone Quinn for a second. She got involved in the match, and she beat the shit out of Grayson Waller with the kendo stick. She completely destroyed it. So she showed a little bit of emotion in it. Not a lot, but she did better here doing what she did with the kendo stick than she did when Johnny Gargano got his ass kicked like 2 weeks ago. So, yeah. No, actually 3 weeks ago. So, I thought that was cool. Then, there was a point in the match where Grayson, where he hit the springboard stunner, which I hate. He needs to change that move up. And Johnny kicked out at 2. And then the finish was good. So, Grayson Waller, he's going to bring a chair into the ring. So Johnny does a super kick, and then he applies the Gargano escape, and Waller taps out. So Johnny wins. And then Johnny and his wife, they celebrate on the stage, and then out comes Index. They appear. So the way they're united, I would say, minus Austin Theory. So they pose together. They get a really good pop and a really good feel-good moment for the crowd. I thought it was good. So I'm guessing Grayson Waller needs to go to the main roster. I mean, why would he need to be in NXT? You know, he's too good. And plus, he's 32? So, yeah, it's time for him to go to the main roster. He's been in NXT for 2 years, and he's improved tremendously. I mean, he's worked on the indies and stuff for a few years, so there's that. But I think he'll do great on the main roster. So Tony D and Stacks, they're talking about what went wrong in the triple threat tag match earlier on. So Pretty Deadly, they come up and they ask about losing. So D'Angelo says they won't make they won't make excuses. Stacks says he felt like he let the family down. Tony D says, no, you didn't. You tried your best. And then Pretty Deadly says the family proved that Pretty Deadly can only beat Gallus. And then both teams shove each other, and then the refs, they break it up. So that was pretty cool. Then we get a Nikita Lyons highlight reel. That was great. So She should be back sometime next year. Moving on. Alba, Fyre, and Isla versus Fallon, Henley and Kiana James for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. Briggs and Jensen, they were in the corner of Fallon, Henley, and Kiana James. So this was a decent match for the most part. So there was a point in the match where Kiana James was calling out to Jensen to hand her something in the bag, and Briggs told him, "Hey man, don't do it, just don't do it." And Fallon was the same way. So they cost her the match that way. So that allows Isla to hit Kiana James with a backstabber, and then Alba Fyre hits the Swanton for the 1-2-3. New tag champs. The Unholy Union. So, for the most part, that's pretty cool. I'm guessing there'll be more to the story come Tuesday. And then the main event. Carmelo Hayes versus Bron Breakker for the NXT Championship. This match ruled. This was great. So Trick Williams tried to get involved early on in the match. The referee sent him back to the back. There was a ref bump. Trick Williams got involved. He hit Bron Breakker with the NXT title. The ref comes back to his feet. He gets a long 2 count from it. And then Bron was going to go for the power slam that he does. Melo hit a code breaker into nothing but net. 1-2-3. New NXT champion, Carmelo Hayes. And the entrances for both guys was phenomenal as well. It was like a real fight. A real big fight feel. I enjoyed it. It was tremendous. The crowd was heavily behind Melo through and through. And when Trick Williams got ejected earlier, the crowd was pissed. But when Melo hit that nothing but net, that crowd popped hard. And it was great. So I love this. This was the right decision. Post-match, Melo and Carmelo Hayes and Bron Breakker, they dap each other up. Bron Breakker hands Carmelo the title. Carmelo celebrates with it, and we go off the air. So that was cool. Overall, the show was solid from start to finish. I think that this was a strong premium live event. The only bad thing about this was Indy winning. Everything else after that was solid. But what did you guys think? So please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for my videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.